Hold on. I didn't have my notebook out. I thought I could do this by memory, but turns out after fucking 2 years of recording this goddamn podcast, I still don't have the fucking thing memorized because I just forgot how to do it. No, I just remembered. Hello, I'm Haley and this is Taya, and welcome to Haley and Taya Wrap Up Supernatural and Start Over, and also sometimes talk about other stuff, a podcast.
Also known as HATRUSA, and this week we are talking about Season 3, Episode 9, Malleus Maleficarum. Yes.
Yeah.
It originally aired on January 31st, 2008, and it was written by Ben Edlund and directed by Robert Singer. So Ben has written a few things, and
Ben,
they
our
were
bestie Ben.
fine. Simon Said, Night Shifter, Hollywood, Babylon, Bad Day at Black Rock. Meh to not great.
Yeah.
And then Robert Singer directed a few, and they've been fine.
Cool.
Phantom Traveler, Salvation, Bloodlust, Croatoan, All Hell Breaks Loose, Part 1 only, and Bad Day at Black Rock. Just, fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Today's episode, I mean, we're not going to talk about it in the episode, but if you watch this episode, content warning for staged suicide.
Yes.
There's a death that is very clearly made to look like a suicide.
But, you see it happen.
Yes.
You see it happen on screen, so there is that. It's the worst CGI you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's, so you know that it's not a suicide.
Right.
As it's happening. But then there are some characters who briefly believe it is one.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
imagery and...
Yes,
I
definitely.
will allude to it because we're going to talk about the CG, because holy shit. We are in Sturbridge, Massachusetts. A couple
Holy
is
shit.
getting kind of sexy. The woman goes to brush her teeth, and they start falling out, and she dies. Sam and Dean go to... Ow, I just scratched my leg and it hurt. Sorry. Sam and Dean go to interview the husband and pretend to be from the CDC, and the husband freaks out a little. They're like, is there anyone who would want to hurt your wife? And he's like, no. Why? Do you think somebody poisoned her? Anyway, the boys follow him that night, and he almost dies because another woman hexes him. Or rather, it's the same woman, but but then she gets hexed and she dies. The boys find her dead at home after... I forgot to write in the fact... Oh, haha! That's funny. I've somehow inserted the sentence in the wrong spot. Let me try that again. Take 2.
Nice.
The boys follow the husband that night, and he almost dies because another woman hexes him. The boys find the hex bag in the car, and they save him. Then, we cut to the woman. We see the woman, and she gets hexed and she dies. And then the boys go to her house, and they find her dead at home. There we go. Turns out there's a coven in town under the guise of a book club, and it's this little group of ladies. Sam and Dean interview them and find that they're thriving. Sam says they'll probably have to kill them. Ruby shows up and is like, hey guys, shit's fucked. And Dean is like, fuck you bitch, fuck you bitch, fuck you bitch, you skank, you whore, you slut. And Sam is like, Dean, stop, I like her. And Dean tries to shoot her, but before he can, Sam grabs his arm and she disappears. Dean talks to Sam at a motel and is like, why are you not afraid to kill people? And Sam is like, well, I just have to be more like you because you're gonna die. And then Dean starts being hurt because he's hexed. He's like, Sammy, I feel like I'm being stabbed from the inside. Sam can't find the bag and takes off to confront the Coven girls, who think they're just saying a spell to lower Tammy's mortgage rate. Meanwhile, Ruby shows up and saves Dean with a potion that looks like water she found on the side of a muddy road after a hard rain. Dean says it tastes like ass. Turns out Tammy is a demon. There's a big fight, and Tammy, whose demon name is Astaroth, reveals that Ruby used to be a witch who sold her soul to a demon, her. Astaroth then kills the other 2 Coven ladies. There's a gnarly fight. It's kind of hot. Obviously, the boys and Ruby win. That night, Dean and Ruby have they have a little heart-to-heart,
Nice.
and Ruby says that she's not like the others, as in other demons, because she remembers what it's like to be human, and reveals to Dean that all demons are humans who were sent to hell, and it will happen to him too. In this episode, there are 6 on-screen deaths. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
The on-screen deaths, in case you were curious, Uh-oh, I have the wrong tab open. Uh-oh. The on-screen deaths are... Fuck. Janet Dutton, who is the lady in the beginning. Amanda Burns, who is the girl who hexed the husband and Janet. Renee Van Allen, one of the book girls. Elizabeth Higgins, the other book girl. Astaroth, who is the demon. And then, well, so technically, we don't know if we count that or not.
It changes every time.
It changes every time. But then Tammy, because Tammy was the body, the meat. Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's my, yeah.
Cool.
Now my notes. There aren't many today because I've been distracted.
Thank God.
Yeah. So my first note is, oh wow, we really are killing a black woman right now, huh? First black woman we've seen in a while, and we're killing her? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be a powerful witch for a second, and then was gravely disappointed when she was immediately killed by a white woman.
We were both like, oh my god, she's a witch, right? And then, no.
Yikes.
Nope. No! Sorry. I knocked over my coffee cup. It was empty, it's fine. My next note is, are teeth that fucking big for real?
Yes.
I didn't like seeing it. I don't like teeth. Teeth are one of my gross things. I don't like them. I don't like thinking about them too much because they disturb me. I think if I saw like a real adult human tooth out of a skull, I think I'd start crying in real life, you know? I just don't like it. That fake blood looks like corn syrup so bad when the scene is disgusting when she's like pulling her teeth out and like spitting them out and shit. It's really gross, but the blood in the sink looks so fake. I was like, all right, this is disgusting, but also you can try a little harder. Then I have these idiots standing out in the middle of hard rain. That's when Sam and Dean leave the house. It's like raining really hard, and Sam and Dean just fucking stand there talking to each other in their nice suits. Then there's a blank note. Looks like I was gonna write something and totally forgot to write whatever I was gonna write. Then I have, that is such a cute little blowtorch. Followed by, maggots are one of my big fucking bads. I hate maggots. Then I have, this is our staged suicide, the fucking CG wrist cuts. It was, guys, so bad.
It all looked fake. They never at any point included any practical effects to offset the CGI because they kept cutting away from it. So you'd think between that they would insert some like real fake blood. So they don't have to keep doing but I guess
or like some SFX that like looks like a cut. No.
And like I know sometimes those like take a long time, but like I don't understand. It looked so bad.
Yeah, it was not good.
So bad.
Like usually with those scenes, like whenever there's a hand cut or like a arm cut for like a ritual or whatever, Taya and I get really like disturbed because we don't like seeing that. And like this like wasn't even the case because we were so caught off guard by the fake CG. We weren't even like, oh no. We were just like, okay. Then I have Elizabeth is so fucking pretty because she was.
She was. At the exact same time as Haley was like, wow, she has really pretty freckles. I was like, wow, she's really beautiful.
It was so funny because like I'd been thinking about like I was like, God, she's really pretty. But then there was like this one shot where like if she was outside, so her freckles were like really obvious because it was sunshine or whatever. And I was like, oh, her freckles are so pretty. And literally at the same time as Taya says that, it was so funny. It was such a little fruity moment. Then I have Sam saying, what do you mean? I don't understand. He sounded like a little baby man.
Yeah.
That's when Ruby jumps is in front of the car and they have that whole conversation. Sam the whole time really Sam is just like the biggest baby in that scene. I don't know why. I don't know why they had him play him that way. But it was funny. But just like confusing. I like when Sam acts like a little bit of a baby. I think it's funny and I think there should be more of it. My next note is Dean calling Ruby bitch then skank, like bro chill. That is both at that one scene. They really said we need to remind the people that we are misogynists.
Yeah, oh my god. This episode.
Yeah.
It was bad with like the just like casual sexist remarks.
Yeah.
Like Supernatural always has that, right? Supernatural always, they love to throw around the word bitch. Whatever.
I do too.
Like, sometimes just like Dean say, but like it is often directed at women. But we got bitch multiple times. We got a bunch of whores. We got a skank. I can't remember if we had any sluts. But it was just like, it was like noticeable. It was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. My next note is Sam. Sam is so funny kicking the door in. That's when he can't find the hex bag, he goes to the house and he literally kicks the door in and holds his gun out at these girls and they're like, "Ah, what are you doing?" But like him, it was just funny. Him kicking the door in was funny. Sorry. Using witchcraft to lower a mortgage rate, so fucking true. I get it. But also they weren't doing that because they didn't know they had a real demon. But anyway, my next note is really funny out of context because it just says, "Me too, Dean." That is directed at the part where Ruby and Astaroth have this fucking moment, and it kind of looks like they're about to kiss, and like they're like,
yeah, there was moment. Like this she said
it's like there's sexual tension there.
Ruby literally said something like,
Ruby said like, "I wanted you.
I've only wanted you," and it was like, what is happening?
Right, and Dean just gets this look on his face, and I was like, man, me too, dude. I get it. Obviously, two vastly different reasons, knowing Dean Winchester's character, but is it really vastly different? Truly, nobody knows. Yeah. Anyway. The next one is a quote, but from Astaroth, who said to Ruby, "You are always a lying whore." And I said, holy shit. And then I have, oh my god, I forgot about Ruby having been a witch in her human life, because I fucking forgot about that. It's like one of the best parts of her character, and I forgot, because it's been so long. But I'm glad I remember now. I love Ruby. Anyway, my next one is Elizabeth.
She died.
Yeah, she died, and it made me sad.
But she did
she helped.
She hexed the demon to make her...
Yeah, Ruby was like gonna lose, but then...
choke up some pins.
Yeah. So she went out a hero. Then my last note is, I love Ruby so much. She is literally one of the best ever. And those are my notes today.
Nice.
Hey, I'm looking at this Etsy shop, finally.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm fucking obsessed with the witch spoons. I cannot lie to you. I want one of those to eat ice cream with.
That's... wonderful. Okay. Let me just pull it up.
Oh my god, it gives you all 4 of them!
Where are you? Where are these spoons?
It's one of her listings.
Where the fuck are these spoons? Oh, I see them. Oh, these are cute-ass spoons.
Taya, I want them.
I'm, like, trying to figure out if they're... It says handmade, but I'm like...
Let's go splitsies on the spoons.
Do you get all 4?
Yeah, you fucking get all 4.
Where does it say that? Oh, wow.
All of the reviews.
I'm like, did this person... I'm like, it says handmade, but I'm like, are these from AliExpress?
Help.
You know what I mean, though, right?
I do.
I'm like, because the rest of it I buy that you put in bundles yourself. But, like, I'm like, where would you have gotten these?
Right, where did you pour this? And, like...
I'll do a little digging later. But they are super cute. All right, anyway.
Yeah, we're good. We're ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, little tiny lore library moment, because I don't really feel like talking about it. But we have witches... however, it's, according to continuity, not the first time witchcraft is seen being used, but it does mark the introduction of human witches. And I was like, what does that mean? So I went on the witch page for Supernatural, which is fun. And it's surprisingly, it's relatively long. They show up a lot. It makes sense why. But, in season 1, Something Wicked has a witch, and it's, like, definitely more supernatural. So... That is the one I think I mentioned last week. I can't remember when I mentioned it.
Yeah.
I was like, there was one that we saw baby Sam and Dean, and like there was like a window, and Haley was like, I think that's later. No, it was in season 1.
Yeah, so last episode when I said that it was the first time we saw baby Sam and Dean, I was fucking wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so specifically that one was a Striga. But this is our first human witch coven. This is arguably one of the more basic witches that I think there's like maybe a little bit more creativity with witches in the future, but like it's like you got a coven, you got a hex bag, like they need to have a hex bag. They need to have candles and like a pentagram or something, and they like chant and hold hands. It's like a super basic idea of witchcraft, really.
Right.
Which is fine. It's just like, I'm sure they're going to get a little bit funky and weird with it later on. So I guess we'll find out there. This episode, I hope this isn't Haley's trivia, but it is named after a book. It is?
It is not.
Okay, cool. Oh God, how do you say it? Malleus Maleficarum. It means Hammer of Witches, and it's the title of a book first published in 1486, which has basically served as the Inquisitor's how-to manual of identifying and destroying witches during the Inquisition. So that's where the title came from, even though they didn't say it. We were hoping they'd say it so we'd figure out how to say it, but they didn't. So, I don't know. There are demons. I'm curious to know if in the future they'll have witches be intrinsically tied to demons as what's kind of giving them their power, because I can't remember, so we'll find out together. And I checked. Sturbridge has no histories of witches. The reason we checked is because, like, New England is actually, like, witches are, like, a thing in New England history.
Right.
Specifically, the witch trials. That was part of the history here.
Salem, Massachusetts. Everybody
Salem
knows.
is the one people know, and we were both confused as to why they didn't use Salem, and the only thing I can think of is Salem is so used that it would maybe be obvious if they weren't filming in parts of Salem. Maybe. I don't even know how often when Salem is filmed, it's actually Salem on screen. But, you know,
right.
Maybe it's a little bit too well known, but Sturbridge has zero... Like, okay, here's the thing. No... There doesn't need to be a history of witches for, like, this demon to come in and ruin this book club. However, as someone who lives in Massachusetts, it's so weird for there to be a witch thing and not actually have it be tied to one of the places around here that has a history of witches.
Yeah.
Especially since Old Sturbridge Village, Haley and I have mentioned it, this place has a living museum. Like, from the colonial era, from the time period where there were witch trials. Or maybe a little bit later, but, like, still, like, close enough that you'd think, oh, Sturbridge, people who know Sturbridge know the Old Sturbridge Village Museum, you'd think they'd, like, go visit. It's, like, I have become one of those people in the reviews who I'm like, this person lives there and is really upset that it's not
now
exactly
we're the
right.
people.
But, like, now that it's happened, that, like, we've been there. We went to Old Sturbridge Village. It's strange. It is strange.
So funny.
Especially since, like, there are places around here that do have that history of witches.
My favorite... Sorry, continue.
Go for it.
Okay, this is, like, not super on topic. It's on the topic of OSV.
Nice.
So, my favorite was when we went there in November, and I was taking notes while we listened to the reading that we went to.
Yes.
And it's just this woman in this fucking old colonial dress, like, in character, kind of, and I'm sitting there right next to her on my phone taking notes on my smartphone.
Yes.
Like,
yes. It's
just so funny. It's so funny. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if any of you ever have the chance to go to Old Sturbridge Village, it's one of my... Like, I've been to quite a few of these living museums, and I always have really liked Old Sturbridge Village. So, like, I recommend it. But, like, it's to the point where I, like, looked up, like, Sturbridge witches, and Old Sturbridge Village talks about a lot of history of not only just Sturbridge, but of, like, the general area, kind of like New England as a whole. And, when looking, I didn't really see anything about witches. they talked about, like, jack-o'-lanterns and Halloween and stuff like that, but there was, like, nothing that said witches, so I was just like, you know, it's the reality is, in this episode, the location is completely irrelevant, but because they said someplace that we, like, know and have been to, that is like, very aware of its history. Like, I'm to an extent, there's gonna be people in every town that are like, I know the history here, but, like, this is the place every single person within driving distance visits in elementary school. So it felt weird for a choice. Like, if they chose any other New England town, I don't think I would have as much of a weird hang up on this.
Yeah.
Because I would just be like, all right, but, you know, that's all I got. Oh, Bechdel test. This episode passes the Bechdel test. This is the first one that's passed since we started this segment.
Yep.
Yes.
We are how many fucking episodes into this goddamn fucking show?
Well, there might have been some that passed before we started doing this.
That's true.
But, yeah, no, it passes it, but like we said, the misogyny, like the sexist remarks, not only like with Dean, but like even between the other women, they upped it this time. And it was unclear, it was unclear, like they were just all very like, it was just a lot.
It was really bad.
It was like, it was out of step with the other Supernatural episodes, almost.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Where are we? Sorry, my brain just stopped working. Are we
Brought
on
to you
crack
by...
shipping? What? No, crack shipping.
Oh, yeah, fuck. We skipped it so many episodes in a row.
I know, but I have one this time, and it's not really crack shipping, I guess, because I feel like there's good standing, but it's fucking Ruby and Astaroth. Like, come on.
That's hardly crack shipping, but go for it.
It's not crack shipping, but this has sort of just turned into a shipping section sometimes.
Yeah.
But I can't
aside from, like,
not honorable
I feel like the
mention.
last time we had a true crack ship was like season 1 when Siobhan came on, and she said like the most batshit thing, and I don't even remember what it was, but we were like, well, that's a crack ship, and then never again.
Right. Like,
yeah.
I'm looking through my physical notes right now.
We skipped a bunch of them.
Yeah. I mean, this one's pretty crack ship. On season 1, episode 12, I said 10 minutes and 17 seconds into the episode, purple sweater lady and Sue-Ann. Like, okay.
I don't even know. First of all, that's season 1. Second of all, I have no idea who those people are. Maybe we should continue.
Yeah. So today's episode is brought to you by Every Rose Has Its Thorns by Poison.
Which I really thought had already been in this show, because as it came on, I started singing it, and then I asked if it was in it before, and Haley went, no, and I was like, oh, I remember you singing it, though.
Yep.
I still am a little convinced. This episode is also brought to you by I Put a Spell on You by Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Favorite Wikipedia. So, today, I lied to you all. There's 7 deaths in this episode. Because my favorite thing on this fucking Wikipedia wiki page today is the fact that under death, Amanda Burns' rabbit is listed.
God.
So, actually there's 7 deaths in this episode, and the rabbit's one of them. So,
that's wild. Alright, so I actually have, like, kind of 2. There's a fucking lot in the trivia section on this page. The first thing I wanted to note, this is more of like a weird writing thing, is before it aired, this episode was initially titled Witch Hunt. It was also supposed to feature a demon framing a group of innocent women as witches to have them murdered, but this idea was dropped because it was too similar to the plot of previous season 3 episode Sin City, which wasn't good, was it? Was Sin City also bad?
Shit.
I like how we just watched that one and I can't even remember.
Sin City, what episode was that?
It was episode 4.
Of this season?
Of this season.
I deleted all my fucking notes, so I can't go back and read my notes on it, but
here, I
can go look at my rating.
I'm already getting there.
I give that a 1.
1.
So,
well, I just think it's really funny that they had to change it because it was too similar to Sin City, and Sin City sucks. So why did they want to do something similar again, you know? I don't understand. This one was so fine to me. My actual trivia that I wanted to share was this episode is widely regarded as a spoof of the TV series Charmed, which shares some similarities to Supernatural in the sense that both feature siblings battling paranormal forces of evil. The witches in this episode have a book of shadows, just like the Charmed ones. Also, the German dub of Malleus Maleficarum even features the witches being voiced by the same voice actresses who voiced Charmed lead protagonists Piper and Phoebe, Hallowell, and Paige Matthews. Which I think that voice actors thing is very fun. I think that's silly and fun. I like it. This is, I believe, the second time they've referenced Charmed in the trivia section.
Great.
Because I'm pretty sure at the end of season 2, they were like, this finale has a lot of similarities to Charmed, and then gave like 3 reasons that were like vaguely only sort of related to Charmed. Like, there are siblings. There's a world-changing thing. And it was like, this doesn't really track. Because I love it. Because I've only seen a few episodes of Charmed. I got the vibe that tonally it's like quite a bit different. But there's supernatural forces and siblings. So
like, wow.
That's really all we need.
Right.
Maybe Supernatural would be better if it was more like Charmed. I say having seen like 2 episodes of Charmed.
I can't speak on that. I've never seen it. So.
I shouldn't either, frankly. Anyway.
Cool. Would you like my rating?
Yes, I'd love it.
Okay. So before I give my rating, I would like to share that there is an update on my last rating, because I had a lot of inner turmoil while I was rating this episode, because I liked this episode. I remembered most of the story beats of this episode. Last episode was 9.5. I did not like this episode enough to give it a 10, but I liked it more than the last episode. So, the last episode is now a 9. And this is also a 9. This is 9 book club witches out of 10. I liked it more than the last episode, but not more than a 9. They're both 9s, but for different reasons. But they're both 9s now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you go in and change it in the spreadsheet?
I did.
Okay, wonderful. One sec. So, on IMDb, this episode has an 8.4 out of 10, and the reviews are incredibly mixed. This actually has 2 1-star written reviews and 1 2-star written reviews, and 1 5 and another 7. And so the 1-star, this one is just kind of funny. This is from 2022 by Jinx to N. And it says, I agree with the poster who complained about the misogynistic insults, but the insults get worse. Why call someone a short bus? That is beyond cruel.
Yes! I did
Why
talk
insult
about
people
that!
who ride the so-called short bus?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one says, this episode kills my love of Supernatural.
Whoa!
So you couldn't get more offensive if you made a list of misogynistic tropes and purposefully tried to write them all. Which I don't think is... I actually don't agree with that in this particular... I don't think it's like all of them, you know?
Yeah.
Then it talks about history. So the actual Malleus Maleficarum, so the like the witch hunting book, is one of the most hateful anti-women screeds ever written and was used as a justification for the mass murder of actual women. This episode uses the title in fun as if that were somehow true. And then they compare it to using a racist or anti-Semitic historical text, which I don't know about. And then they say, in history, the Inquisitors were real monsters. Here, Sam and Dean take the Inquisitor role without irony. What were the writers thinking? The women in this episode are portrayed as varying degrees of stupid, shallow, greedy, and evil. And just to rub it in, we get multiple uses of the words like bitch, skank, and whore, most coming from our hero's mouth. If you don't understand why this is not okay, please Google Feminism 101 and read. This is from Drink the Poison.
Sorry, that was a joke.
Then one just says this episode really sucks and gave it a 2. Someone else didn't feel it because they think that they're not buying Ruby's actress, which I don't.
How?
They don't think she gives like 400-year-old demon well.
Okay.
Some Cubs in Culture said that the revelation that Ruby was a witch was never really explored. I mean, I kind of agree. That doesn't get super explored, but it's all right. But they also say that, like,
I forgot.
Yeah, this one is probably one of the worst on that front in, like, not exploring the whole. Here, let me reread this. The whole witch lore on the show is nowhere near the other stuff, and all witch episodes feel rote to me. This one is probably the worst on that front because the conventions they use, i.e. hex bags, are just sort of lame. Which I kind of get. I was saying this earlier. The Supernatural treats witches in a weird way where they're never a priority, even in, like, their own episodes. Right? Like, the priority here is the demon. So it's a little bit weird in how their lore is treated, so I can see it. And then, just because I was skimming them, going back to the misogynistic stuff, I don't know how much I entirely agree with that review, but it is worth, like, thinking about Sam and Dean taking the role of the Inquisitor, and also, like, using this to reframe it where that was a book that was used to kill people.
Right.
But then now they're using it and being like, yeah, no, they are witches, and one of them is killing people. So it's something to think about.
Yeah.
But not something I would actually expect Supernatural to think about, and maybe that's me letting them off too easy.
I mean, here's the thing is, I was having this sort of a similar thought process because, listen, I get it. Yes, this episode was ridiculously misogynistic. But hearing some of these reviews, I'm like, guys, you're watching fucking Supernatural. What do you expect?
That's the hardest part, though, right? Like, I'm always stuck between, like...
Are these reviews... Sorry, I don't remember. Were all of those reviews from, like, when this episode came out? Or
the one that said that it was... The one that said this... That talked about, like, the Inquisitors and stuff was from 2010.
Okay.
And then some of the others that I read are later. I guess where I struggle with Supernatural is the whole, this is good for Supernatural, but do I want to always be judging it by, for Supernatural, this isn't bad, but if we step away from this being Supernatural, like, you know what I mean? Like, right. I don't, I would never expect Supernatural to actually do the historical research to, like, and have that conversation, like, is this, like, a thing that we should actually be doing, but, like, should I be expecting them to do that? I'm not sure. And also it was 2008, and 2008, like, hated a lot of people. So
true.
So I don't know. It's complicated. That's what I'm gonna end on. It's complicated, and they could have used the word skank less.
Fair. I like that review.
Thanks. Thank you so much for listening to HATRUSA this week. We are HATRUSA everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. The other week, got us on a few more podcasting, like, sites, and I think we are pretty much, if you listen to podcasts somewhere, you can find us. I'm fairly certain I think we're on all of them. So if you are listening on any of those sites, or you only, like, sometimes use them, and you want to give us a rating, that would be awesome, because that helps us get more listeners, and we don't do any advertising and are actually pretty shit at doing this.
It's okay, though, because it's not our fucking job. So.
It's not our job, and in fact, this week is sponsored by us having other jobs. Like...
Other jobs that I'm not fucking being paid for right now.
Oh, boy. Yeah, this episode is brought to you in part by Haley and Taya having alternative incomes that aren't a podcast. Amen. So, like, I don't know what to tell you, but I do have a week off. Well, not a whole week, but I have a few days off next week. So I will be putting, hopefully, I'm going to be trying to get up to the 40s for the YouTube episodes because I know they're behind again. Once I'm caught up, it'll be easy to do it every week, but I have to catch up first. And between the lack of storage on my laptop and how long it takes to export a video, it's taking a bit.
I don't have a day off until the first week of May.
I am starting a new job, so I have time between my two jobs.
So fucking fair.
So.
Well, Taya.
Haley?
I don't have a question for you today, but I do have a comment.
Okay.
I love Bobby.
We haven't seen him in ages. This season's so fucking weird. I cannot wait to be done with it. Where's Castiel?
Where's
Where is-
fucking Castiel?
I don't
That's
even know
my
if I'm
question.
gonna-
That's my question for today. Where's Castiel?
Fuck, I really hope that when he shows up that this gets a little bit more entertaining, because otherwise we're fucked.
I think when Castiel gets here, we need to add a new section for prosperity. I don't know.
We gotta do some. Haley, I hate this TV show. I'm sorry. I know you're having a good time. Sometimes I dread it.
I know. That's okay. Because that's what we're here to do, is
be miserable?
Suffer.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
So we'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.